Hi, I'm Not Your Average Joe, and this is Not Your Average Garden. Today, we're building a climbing wall around our house. I used to climb a lot, so I wanted to make it hard enough to need some project work, both in setting and completing in one go. I had a rough idea of a route in mind to maximise the not-so-natural features of the wall and brickwork, as well as a handful of old climbing holes given to me by an old colleague. It was, however, a bit late to start making too much noise once I'd figured out the hold placements, so we waited for the next day for some more glorious sunshine. We started off by clearing out some of the not-so-natural features before prepping a whole load of bolts for the holds. I didn't want to use the big hex bolts you'd normally use with T-nuts on climbing walls to minimise any potential damage to the brickwork, so we prepped some M6 carriage screws with various sizes of washers to fit the different holds. These holds have a safety spring, meaning if you over-tighten them to the point of breaking, they'll spring apart. Even so, we sandwiched an extra split washer to give us a bit more leeway when tightening, especially important if you plan on using an impact driver for this like I did, but you could always use a wrench, or even an impact wrench if you've got one of those. We're piloting out incrementally from 3mm to 8mm, using some decent masonry bits and some really strong multi-purpose Fisher wall plugs. I'm using both 50 and 80mm bolts here to match the different depths of the holds. Once we're drilled out, knock these in with a hammer, get the hole positioned and repeat. There's also a couple of screw-ons we'll be mounting with the same method, just using some smaller screws and plugs.
Oh yes.
All the way through, I'm testing the route, checking it's actually possible to do each move, even if not linked together straight away. Remember, I want this to keep me occupied for a bit. We don't want it too easy now. Saying that, I do want people to come over and give it a go, and that horrible pink pinch grip needed to go for something easier to match your hands on.
Much easier.
After a few days away in the peaks, we're back to finish it off. Not much left to do, to be honest. A couple more holds and then time to give it a proper attempt. Me and Rick got loads of footage from our adventures in the peaks, so keep an eye out for that video in the coming weeks. Head on over to notyouraveragejjoe.co.uk, follow me on Facebook and YouTube for more.